everyone, Phoenix61 here with your daily dose of World of Warships Legends shenanigans. Today we are in the Omaha, right? So we're playing some lower tier ships this week. As always, if you guys want to see me play something or do a video on something, leave that in the comments and I will get to it if I've got the ship, right? But so yeah, we're doing an Omaha game. I think I was working through like a bureau project or something, right? And I needed a win as the Omaha. But we're very quickly going to show you what not to do with this ship, and then we will show you what to do with this ship, right? So, if you've ever played the Omaha, or right, like this sort of tech line or tech tree, whatever you want to call it, of these American cruisers, you know that the biggest challenge once you get up into like the 4 or 5, 6 range, right, you can just go down super quick, right? So I'm definitely pushing up a little too much in the beginning of this video, and we see a DeGrasse here, right? And so I'm kind of excited. I'm going to switch to AP, see if we can get a good shot on him, but he does turn in as well. And then as we get spotted, there's just going to be too many big guns out there for comfort of the Omaha, right? Like you can get, so we know not to be broadside, right? So we're going to kind of go bow in, but even then with several battleships that are out there going to be shooting at us, this was kind of a mistakes were made kind of situation, right? So ideally I was hoping to be able to push up a little bit and then kind of turn away and then maybe seek refuge behind some land here, but we do have this island just to our left, and so if we can survive this initial onslaught of, you know, looks like we had that cruiser and battleship just north of the A cap that are picking on us right now. You can see they're still shooting us. If we can kind of survive this initial onslaught and get tucked away behind some cover here, we should be okay. So we're going to focus fire on the Farragut while he is spotted. And then I was also checking my my normal detectability range, right? So if I stop firing my guns here, everyone is far enough away that we won't get that will go unspotted, right? We're just dealing with the sort of 20-second penalty after firing the guns, right? So that's going to be huge for us because that's going to stop, you know, anything that wasn't already en route to us, right, from coming. But yeah, as you can see, we've consumed the vast majority of our health pool. And like I said, we only had about 8,000 worth of damage that we gave back to them, right? So, and granted, some of that was for that destroyer, right? So our allied destroyer that's in the A cap, somebody was able to finish him off, right? So that's huge for us. I always say that getting destroyers off the board early is always huge for you and your teammates, right? So, but yeah, you could see people like saw like how low I was on health, so they're still, you know, still trying to lob stuff over in this direction. And then we take that initial shot at that Congo, right? And so I'm trying to still back up. We still keep getting spotted, so something's still within our spotting range, our firing range. It's probably a destroyer. Yeah, he's in, you know, we can see the A zone is contested, right? So there's a destroyer in there. So we backed up far enough that he must no longer have line of sight on us, or he's over by that smoke potentially, right? Yeah, so there he is. So we won't be able to hit him, but we've got decent, you know, sort of Archie-ish bullets, right? That like, you know, so a lot of times firing from cover is kind of the way to go with this ship. And so now we will demonstrate what to do, right? And it's like, you know, like you can brawl with any ship, right? It's just how long you last is what what matters, right? So, but yeah, as a cruiser too, it's always nice to be able to help hunt down destroyers, and it can be tough to do in these ships when you know, if you've got battleships out there that can shoot at you, right? You kind of are forced into this sort of defensive role while you know, deal with those, right? So you kind of got to duck and weave around in between islands as best you can, and so we kind of got forced into this position where we're kind of locked in. This is going to be where we live now for this game since we already took a lot of hits, right? That kind of thing. But yeah, even just getting, you know, going unspotted within that first minute or so, right? Like that kind of got a lot of attention off of us, right? As people see, all right, there's a cruiser out there, he's low on health, right? Like they're going to try and pick on him. But then once you go unspotted and stay undetected for a little bit, sometimes people can kind of forget about that, or they're focused on something else, right? So it can be huge just to be, you know, go dark for a little bit, come back to fight another day, and it can make a huge difference, right? Surviving is always more important than anything else, right? So yeah, so we're going to continue to try and stay back and use this island as best we can. It's a little frustrating. We do keep getting picked up because of that destroyer, I think, when we fire our guns here. So I'm trying to like sort of get a little bit closer and get a little bit more behind this chunk of land here. And then, yeah, here we go. Now we are not spotted, and it's perfect. We can fire over this little chunk here, this little island. And then, yeah, we see the destroyer, right? So I'm a good ship to be able to shoot destroyers, right? So if my guns can make it over the land to shoot at him, I'm going to pick on him. I'll actually even risk getting spotted here just to get some more guns on target, because, yes, we want to get rid of him, right? So this is their last destroyer. If he's off the board, that can be huge for us as well. That'll be less frustrating for us, as he's the one that's probably been spotting us most of this time, right? We got the fire on him. Let's see if we can get rid of him. And swing and a miss on that last salvo there, so somebody else gets that kill. We will shoot this Iron Duke. And then, yeah, I'm going to try and move up so that he doesn't have line of sight on us, because he's definitely the one spotting us right now. So if we can move just enough up where we can still fire our guns over the land, and he can't see us, right? So pro move with the Omaha. This is kind of how you got to do it. Since he's further out, you could use AP shells. The AP shells are always great on this line of ships. But yeah, if they're battleships that are kind of far out, I kind of lean towards the HE shells to try and trigger fire and do damage to superstructures, right? It's really when you get like that broadside cruiser is really your prime opportunity for using AP shells and just go right for the hull, right at the waterline. But we will, with these battleships that are kind of further out at our range, we'll try and trigger fires, and we'll use HE shells a little bit more. I'll kind of lean into those. You're getting just a little bit here and there, which is fine. And then we get spotted, kind of in between that little crevice and in between the island there, right? So we'll move back forward. And like I said, yeah, like people tend to be a little bit less likely to be shooting at us at this point, right? They've kind of forgotten about us. There's a battleship finally on our team, like moving in, pushing up a little bit more. So they're picking on him, but we want to provide as much support as we can, which is just damage farming at this point. That's the best thing we can do with given our low health situation, right? And then, yeah, this is like Pensacola. Like I'm saying, you could try AP against him. He is up a tier, right? That's the tier 5 version. But yeah, he's not giving us good broadside, right? So I'll just keep using the HE shells for the time being. And then I'm going to back up, right? I'm going to try and get out of line of sight so he doesn't have us spotted anymore. And there we go. That's enough. And it looks like he's trying to back up as well, so we'll aim a little bit high and a little bit behind him. And we get the Confederate medal there. And we'll just keep rinsing and repeating on this guy here. He may end up moving out of our range, so I'm going to let's see if we can back up and see if we can hit this other battleship, this Bayern. Because, yeah, right at our range, we're, not very likely to get all those hits on that, so we'll move back, see if we can hit this Bayern, and we can. So we'll keep shooting him. Keep in mind, we're this, by going after this Bayern, we're kind of helping our battleships that are pushing up as well. New Mexico finished off the Pensacola, so that's great.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
And yep, we'll just keep aiming high and trying to trigger fires. Getting just tiny bits of damage, right? We are a lower tier on this game, right? So Bayern's a tier 5, right? So that always kind of plays a factor. You're going to keep that in mind if you don't see those epic damage numbers that you enjoy. There's the fire, so that's great for us. Keep taking these shots. He's moving forward now. We'll just continue to take full advantage of the fact that we're able to just kind of damage farm these guys, being unspotted. We're low on health, right? We learned our lesson early on in the game, so we're just gonna kind of do what we can with what we've got left, and being a little jerk, hiding behind island cover and shooting bullets is gonna be the way to go for us, right? So he's going to go down, and then we will start pushing up towards the A cap, right? There's an island in the A cap, so this is kind of too potentially like if we were to have gotten away with that aggression in the beginning, we could have potentially, you know, ducked behind this island in the A cap, but we were not able to do that, and we had the 2 destroyers to deal with. So yeah, so we'll push up there now. We'll kind of play this safe. We'll see if we can't get the zone cap, but of course this battleship is going to be the only one left. So at this point, it kind of doesn't matter, right? If you wanted to just YOLO push into him and say, take me, you could do that too. Just get as much damage dealt as you can before you go down. But yeah, like, keep in mind, right, like, he's going to see us, right? He's going to be like, ooh, cruiser, right? So the second we get spotted by him, he's going to stop what he's doing, turn his guns on us, and try and finish us off. So just keep that in mind. So, excuse me. So we want to hold off on firing here till we get into the zone we can. But like I said, you're right. You do you. At this point, we're up, you know, 5 ships to their 1, 2 zones capped to their 1. So like we're not even worried about points anymore at this, you know, at this point in time. Some torpedoes. What was that? Or was there a cruiser left that must have sent those? Yeah. So we saw him take a salvo at our allied battleship there, so I figured I would open up the guns and try and get some hits here. So we knew we would have at least that much time while he reloaded. And then we'll turn in here just in case he does fire at us, but like I said, right, like we don't have a lot of health left, he could potentially take us out. We'll just deal with it. He's going to keep moving up, so we'll do our due diligence here, get the zone cap. I'm a huge fan, like, even though we know we don't need this zone cap, right, we could get the zone capture just for the, you know, XP earnings and credit earnings, like all that other fun stuff, right, for the sake of getting a little bit better spot on the leaderboard potentially, right? But we've got him on fire, right, so we were getting good amounts of damage now at this point. We do pop high caliber as well. And then that's going to put us just over the top of that 100,000 mark, which is always kind of fun to get at a tier 4 cruiser level, right? So with one last salvo, we get that. We will take a look at the leaderboard. Make sure you guys are following the channel. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, 100,000 damage. Yeah, I think I was playing this ship to work through a bureau project. 2,400 XP puts us at the top. We'll see what the economy tab looks like as well. 200 grand in silver. We'll take that action. Right, and so for this, you know, you only get the 1 mod slot, the 1 optional mod slot, right? So I'm using aiming system there for the better range and accuracy. Then I'm using Azuline Baltimore on this line, just for it's got a little bit better AP shell damage, right? But you could build this kind of however you wanted, right? So beyond range, I mean, with Omaha, you could even go, you know, fire spammy if you wanted. I think once you get to like the Pensacola, the tier 5, it's a little bit more valuable to start building into those AP shells a little bit more. But yeah, if you don't have Azuline Baltimore, right, I think, who's this, got a Commander Geist on here. I think this is probably Tennant, right, William Tennant. Let's see, and just double check here. Oh, Norman Scott, my bad, yep. I mix up the command. I'm so bad with commander names. I'm glad I went and like took a look. But Norman Scott honestly is like, in my opinion, like just as good, right? I have Norman Scott on my sort of the other cruiser line for the American ships, so I've built into more of the like fire aspects, right? But you could pick beyond range in that first row and then punch through in this third row, and then it's such a similar build to the Azuline Baltimore build, right? So it's just kind of, sometimes it's just nice to have 2 cruiser commanders just so that you can kind of customize them for those 2 cruiser lines. But yeah, I'm going main battery dispersion, right? I like to build into accuracy and range kind of, you know, stuff with my inspirations on these American cruisers. You could also go, you know, for the AP centric lines, right? Like this Omaha, Pensacola and up, right? Like you could go, you know, AP shell damage inspirations or AP pen multiplier, right? Those are some free to play commanders that you could build into those inspirations too. Just look for them. I always forget who they are, but yeah, thanks for watching my video all the way through here, guys. Like I said, please do subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that. Helps me out quite a bit. Helps motivate me to keep creating this type of content. So, and then yeah, if you're interested in any particular ships, leave a note for me as well that way, and I will get to that, right? If I have a good game with it, we'll put it up. But yeah, we do Legends videos every day, so if you're subscribed, we'll see you guys tomorrow.